Hello, my name is Preston Walker, the President and CEO of Simply Humanity. I come before you today because I have a great concern about our black colleges and their current financial position. My goal has been to create an ideal and plan to help save all of our schools because they're important. The ideal behind saving the colleges and the institution is called a consortium museum. I think it would be great to establish a consortium group that will oversee the financial aspect of each historical black college. Now, I've worked very hard on this plan, but I have yet to get it into the hands of the community at large and some prominent individuals that will help to aid in allowing or affording this ideal to be a very successful one. Now, the ideal behind establishing the Consortium Museum will be to ask prominent Hollywood individuals, such as actors, lawyers, Oprah Winfrey, your Denzel Washington, people like Michelle Obama, and hopefully the president, if in fact we can get him to participate, will be great pillars for forming this museum. And having them as part of the museum would be an excellent springboard to getting the community at large to participate in being a part of the museum as well. Now, the goal is very simple because with numbers, there's power. And there's power in numbers. The goal is to ask each community around the United States to be a part of the museum by purchasing a space in the museum in which your great success, whether it's becoming a lawyer, an accountant, a doctor, could be recognized in this museum surrounding the pillars, those great individuals that I mentioned momentarily. But the goal would be for each member from the community at large to pay $1,889 for membership. Now that sounds like a lot of money, but it's not, because the plan could be broken down in 12 months. For those that are having a more difficult time, because this is a difficult time in our economy, we could probably establish an 18-month to 20-month plan. But listen, if in fact we get over 250,000 participants, that would help us raise over $350 million. Now, I think that is more than enough to help stabilize some of our black colleges and universities. It's important that we begin to do something now as a people, because our hopes for our little children are slipping away. And then as I think back at the times in which the slaves were responsible for starting these colleges, it's really remarkable when we can draw from our history and from it find new ways of combating some of the problems that exist with our children today. I think it would be a good idea to use our black colleges and universities to help educate or combat the reading problems that our children have in our communities today. Why not utilize our black colleges to help teach our young people how to read? Those that are struggling in 3rd grade and 4th grade, and some of them are in 6th and 7th grade with only reading on the 3rd grade level. I think it would be wise that we come together under the consortium group and organize a plan in which the students that are participating in our colleges can help or be responsible for teaching at least one child how to read. Now, this isn't a lot to ask, because we as a people have accomplished more things than this. It's written in our history. We are a strong people. We are a mighty people. And most importantly, we are great in numbers. And for as long as we have the power in numbers, and numbers, or large communities, I should say, in different areas surrounding our black colleges, then we should be able to come together as one unit to be able to help save our schools, as well as our children that are having problems with reading literacy today. Now, this is easy. It's not a hard task. We simply have to come together finally surrounding this one issue, which is education. No matter how we try to cut this, it's impossible for one to achieve without education. And this is why at Simply Humanity, this has been such an important task to put together. We must save our schools, because if we save our schools, not only are we providing jobs for those individuals in the community, but we will also have avenues in which we can teach our young children. Now, there's other aspects and ways that can be utilized to help us save our historical black colleges as well. I think it would be a good idea if, in fact, the university's responsibilities were enhanced in a civil and humanitarian way, such as allowing enrollment for disabled veterans and homeless children, foster and unadopted children 18 years and older, single parent fathers, runaway teens, young adults and teens, displaced women with children. If in fact we can begin to cater to these individuals, because there are large groups in our society, I think it will be enough people in that small community of people, that disadvantaged group, that will help. I think if we target them, there's enough there that will help increase our enrollment in our black colleges and schools. Now, the sweet thing about this is this: those individuals are already receiving help, most of them. And if not, we'll create a system that will help them with the financial stability that they deserve. Most of these individuals are covered under the Title VII plan, your homeless individuals. There are resources there that allow them to have shelter, that allow them to receive food, that allow them to receive education. The resources are there, and they're coming directly from the government. So if in fact we can put together a plan under this consortium group that will target these, or concentrated people, these group of people, the disadvantaged group of people that so desperately need our help, I think it will be an excellent way to increase the enrollment of our black colleges and universities. I believe in this plan. I stand behind this plan. I believe in my people. For we are a strong people. We are a strong nation. We have strong communities. What we simply don't have at the time is a plan to save the colleges and goals. I think by organizing a consortium group, creating a museum, and targeting the community at large, we can help save our black colleges if in fact, or when in fact, we all come together as one. I'm talking about a people, not a particular race, but a group of people. Now, our colleges are just as important as all the other schools, for there's something rich that stands behind each and every institution that was built. And it's something that's called history. I am in support of that history staying in place because it meant something to me, and I'm pretty sure it's going to mean something to the youth of today. Now, I want to leave you with a saying. It's recorded as, today's mighty oak is just yesterday's little acorn that held its ground. Today's mighty oak is just yesterday's little acorn that held its ground. For our young people today, our colleges represent so much more. It represents an opportunity. Those buildings erected on the campuses are so full of rich history. And not only does the institution allow you to become educated, it allows you the opportunity to become all you would want to be. The dream started small with the slave to establish an institution. And for as long as that dream was nurtured, it became true. It sounds like that oak that was once an acorn was an avenue for success for a lot of people. I would like to continue that dream of success for our people. I would like to continue the possibilities of the individuals in those communities to be able to have a place to work. I would like to continue the dream of a young man who wants to follow in his father's footsteps, who graduated from one of those institutions, one of the historical black institutions. I want to see that college there. I would like to see that child graduate in his father's footsteps. And for those reasons alone, because they belong to us, because they belong to a part of America's history, for that reason alone, I will do all that I can to make certain that this consortium plan reaches the right desk, is presented in front of the right people to help save our schools. Again, I believe that our slaves, our ancestors, the slaves, our people, who didn't know how to read or write, but was convicted that this was something that we would need in order to be successful, just from mere strength and determination was able to establish the colleges and institutions. Yes, they were donated. Most of them were the grounds were donated to us from slave owners. That's part of our history. And a lot of us have taken advantage of that thing. And it's important that going forward, these colleges and institutions are there so that our young people can take advantage of being educated. And now is the time that our black colleges and institutions are not only used to educate those who have passed SAT exams and graduated from high school, but they are necessary now, and it's essential now that we begin to organize plans within our colleges and institutions that will help our youth with understanding some things that they are missing in elementary school, such as their reading skills, their math skills, their sciences. We can start little classes and seminars at or using our institutions to help educate our kids, and not only our children, but also the adults and the elderly that are of the communities that can't understand their prescriptions because they can't read themselves, or because the writing is too small, the font is too little for them to read. We can establish classrooms and seminars helping them understand some of the things, some of the mail they're receiving, some of the things that have to do with our government that they receive, their social security plans. We can kind of put together sessions and classrooms where these individuals can receive help. I leave you with this last example. A lot of our elderly folk and people in our communities as well are suffering from hypertension, diabetes. We're not eating healthy. A lot of our children are obese. So there's a problem of obesity as well. The goal is, under the consortium group, it is to establish sessions and seminars within our institutions to help combat obesity, to explain the importance of eating healthy to those that suffer from sugar diabetes, kidney diseases, etc. The entire scope behind this plan is to help improve a community. And while helping to improve a community of people, enhancing the responsibilities of our historical black colleges. Why? Because the buildings are there. The resources are small, but they're there. We have professors that can teach. We have the grounds. We have the locations. We have the structure. We have the classrooms. We have the buildings. What was lacking was simply this: a plan. And I believe we now have it. Thank you for listening. I will be posting this informative in several different places, and it's because I would like feedback. I would like participation. It's at its infant stages, but with your help, this ideal can grow to be something large. Again, my name is Preston Walker, and I am the President and CEO of Simply Humanity, located in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you very much for your time.